And while you do that suggestion, I'm also going to present my screen because I also know that this tends to look a lot clearer in your guys' end when I do this. We should watch the new COD Zombies trailer so we can get inspiration. We do that, sure. How long is it? Okay, drop the link and we'll watch it. It's not a bad idea. Hey Google, set the lights to green. Right, green for zombies. I think it kind of get us in the mood a little bit. All right. Yeah, let's watch the trailer and then we'll take a look at where we're at. So, beginning the Call of Duty trailer.
I'm still in the field. I have to meet a contact.
I am not proud of everything I have done, but I am proud of what I am doing. Omega must be stopped, no matter the personal cost to people like you and I.
No, my friend. They are the ones who are going to pay.
They have already opened their new worlds.
Ravenoff, my team's reached the village.
Requiem, welcome to Vietnam. We have to get out of here now.
Sorry the quality's so bad. Their lighting is the same lighting as in our map, pretty much, which is kind of funny. I thought our map was usually at night eventually, but maybe we should do it at sunset like they have it.
I'd pick up the pace if I were you, for Max's sake.
Mystery box, of course. These guys know how to make a trailer. Oh my gosh, look at that effect. Wow.
If you're lying to me, if you betrayed her, if any harm comes
It's me after Baltimore. Look at
I
that.
will kill you myself.
I got the physique right. Cool. Wow. So, yeah, that actually, man, they know how to make a trailer. That was great. Was that the back, the like perimeter, the horizon? You see the purple. Was that like a Fortnite thing? Are they doing the Fortnite style, whatever, where you've got like the storm closing in on you? I wonder. No, it's part of the storyline. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. The accents sound fake. Really? I'm not an expert in Russian accent acting, but it sounded good to me. But again, I don't know. Is Ian Biersch approved? Yeah, sunset sounds perfect for zombie theme. Okay, yeah, because you know the lighting in that trailer is very much our lighting here. It's like the same time of day, so we can do this style lighting. I've never played a COD map that wasn't at night. But that's what's cool about making your own game is we get to decide we're doing, I'll just say real quick, we're doing a COD game in period 7, but it's Call of Duty Zombies, but in Star Wars. And so we were making the Death Star, and we've got an environment, and you can see space and stars all around you. And we have droids now. We got the model online on the Epic Games Store. So we have these droids that are coming after you, and we thought, well, I know it's not really like part of the COD thing, but why don't we give our player a lightsaber? So we did the lightsaber thing, just so you can hack them together. Maybe we make like a mystery box thing. So, even though we're making something, based on this blueprint of another game, we can always innovate. Yeah, the creature from the trailer was there's a couple of them that looked really good. All right, so here we are last time. So these guys come up, and then I can hit them. I can shoot them in the leg, and they'll fall down just like if they're hit there. Cool. All right, there we go. And then I think they'll kill us. Again, sorry my performance is so core. I think it's my docking station not providing enough power, I think is actually what's happening. But, alright. And if they get close enough, they do kill us, right? I think we coded that. Yep. And then we restart. Okay. So we should add the zombie skin. Yeah. Oh, we did. Didn't we download that last time? Is that right? Was that for this class? We got a zombie skin in, didn't we? Yes, of course we should. Yeah. Oh my gosh, let's do it. I was just gonna jump into systems development too. So, absolutely. Okay. So we got this thing called Monster Zombie. We got it from the marketplace. Whenever you get a marketplace asset, you're gonna get these things. This overview map that comes with the asset. So let's jump to the overview map and take a look at it. I took a peek at it after our last class when it was done downloading. Looked pretty cool. So we've got these zombies here, and let me just see, is there anything I can turn off on my computer that's going to make things run better? I'm having real lag, and that's no good for anybody. Adobe, by the way, if you ever download an Adobe program, just know that Adobe likes to behave exactly like a virus. Because even though I haven't opened Adobe at all today, in fact, I restarted my computer, everything, I have, let's see, Adobe Genuine Software Integrity, that's 1. Adobe Genuine Software Service, that's 2. Adobe IPC Broker, that's 3. Adobe Update Service, 4. CCX Process, that's Adobe, see the icon? That's for Creative Cloud Process, that's 5. Anything else? Anything else hidden here? Adobe loves to run their apps in the background like viruses and make your computer run terribly. So I'm going to try and end that process. And when you end it, sometimes they come back. They like wait a second, they hide when you're not looking, and then they jump right back into it. So like right here, like, yeah, very arrogant software design. Terrible. No other program could get away with that. You would uninstall any program that would do that. Because it's Adobe, you're supposed to be okay with it. Yeah, it will open stuff in the background even if you turn off open on startup. Yes, exactly. Will it happen with me? Yeah. Extremely arrogant design, Adobe. But when you're a monopoly or you provide the best product of a type, they're not even good products, but the best product, then that's what you have to deal with. So let's see where I'm doing simulate so we can see all these kind of animations here. The walking animations and all this stuff and yada yada yada. And then oh cool, wow, they have separated limbs and stuff, so you can get into that kind of. I didn't even know that you could do that. They've got like, okay, different model zombie, the one without the leg, the one without that. So really, potentially, you could really do that kind of thing. Okay, so that's really cool. Let's turn this into something that we could use. So, all right, so they actually have blueprints for the zombies. That's interesting. I'm wondering if they have an animation blueprint. They don't. Of course they don't. Usually they don't. That means we have to build our own. Making an animation blueprint can always be a little annoying. Let's see. Is that okay? These blueprints are just for playing that one animation on this demo map, I guess. So we got to make an animation blueprint, and yeah. So let's jump on over back to our original map, and then we'll get started on making the zombies look and feel like zombies. Okay. Open up our zombie here. So here's our guy, the main guy. Now, if I were to just look up the skeleton, because it's still rigged to the epic skeleton, it should. Let's see. We should be able to theoretically just swap the skeletons, and you'll see our zombie basically breathing the same as this guy. Obviously, it's not with the same animation. Okay, so now it T-pose, but let's see if we change it back to third-person anim. Doesn't want to do that. Then what we could do is right-click, retarget. No, yeah, duplicate. Duplicate, retarget. Will that work? Doesn't show up. Go back to the original way. Oh, no, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. Animation. So if we go to monster animations here, then we go to the mesh. I'm going to duplicate this in case we want to go back to the way it was. But on this duplicate, I'm going to rename it retargeted. So retargeting a skeleton is what you do to get a different mesh to use the same skeleton. That's what all the animation data comes from, as something else. That way you can assign animations that weren't made for this mesh to this mesh. So if I do assign skeleton, and if I assign it to the UE4 mannequin skeleton, then it should be able to use those additional animations and stuff. Yeah. Okay, it says it needs to be saved, so I hit save all. But boom. All right, now if I go back to our enemy, swap him out, it works. See, that's what you do there. Let's make sure he's using his zombie material. All right, so even without the animations, we've got a zombie mesh. Now he's doing the Unreal Engine thing, right? But let's just hit play and see what that looks and feels like. And if we really want to get specific into all the animations and stuff today, we can. Just know that the animation stuff can take a little bit, and it's not super exciting, making animation blueprints and stuff. He's got to think, like, sometimes people, like animators, especially ones I've taught and things like that, they just think of like, oh, the animation, the bones, moving it around, making an animation, and that's what they're interested in. In a game, primarily you're taking, 20, 30 different animation assets, all, a short 5 seconds of the guy doing something, and then returning back to his normal state. And you have to control how those things link together, and when they happen, and how they happen. So you have to be setting up, okay, the guy is standing idling when his velocity is 0. And when his velocity goes between 100 and 200, he's at a walking pace. And when it goes above 200, he started a jogging pace. And if his velocity starts going in this direction, let's say to the left, well then he starts to strafe with his legs, right? And you're blending and all this stuff. That's the animation blueprint stuff has to do with. So it can be a bit tedious, but let's hit play and see our zombies coming at us. Whoa, here they come. Full freaking running zombies. That's not, I did not feel safe there, and I'm probably gonna die again because oh, here they go. Oh, that's so cool, man. Whoa. All right, I'm gonna shoot one. Ah, there he goes down. Maybe we can replace the running so it's not a jog with one of the zombies. Maybe we'll do something simple like that, but I'll keep everything else the same. Wow, but we really got zombies in here. Yeah, let's do a quick replacing of how his animation blueprint's running. So what we'll do is we'll find this animation blueprint. We're gonna right click, or we're gonna duplicate this. We need beginning round zombies to walk, then they sprint. Totally. And we'll hopefully. I feel like we're running out of time, but I feel like we'll get to that. So let's put zombie anim BP. Okay, so we're opening up the anim BP for the zombie. All right, let's bring that up here, full screen. Let's make sure that he's now going to be using the anim BP for the zombie. Which again is identical because it's duplicated the third-person character one. But we're going to start messing around with it. So first off, so we don't get confused, let's change the character that we're previewing this animation with on here to be the zombie character, which is called zombie retargeting. Okay, cool. So basically, what I want to do is this is an existing animation blueprint, the one that comes with third-person character. And again, this is the stuff I was talking about, like, hey, how do you know when to trigger a falling animation? You make a boolean called is in air based on the movement component. You can ask if it's falling, blah, blah, blah. But let's modify this so that he's a little bit more zombie-like. The zombie looks like a monkey. I think it's just because he's not like dressed up yet. So what we're gonna do is there's something called the anim graph, and this is called, it has these things called state machines, and this is kind of the the blood flow of a animation blueprint. So we want to go to idle run, and let's look at this idle run blend space here. This is the thing that we want to make a copy of and make a zombie version of it so that he walks and stands like a zombie. So what we're going to do is, can I open asset? Yeah, we'll do this. We'll open this asset. Don't want to modify this exact one because this is being used by our character. So our character doesn't want to walk like a zombie. So we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to name this zombie idle run. Double click, and we're just gonna replace in the animation some of the zombie stuff. So zombie, okay, so I want some of these zombie animations, but I don't see any of them in there. Well, those zombie animations that came in need to be also retargeted to it. So let's I'm gonna make a backup folder, so just in case the retargeting process does something. So I'm gonna make a new folder and put animation original, and we're gonna copy all this stuff, not move, but copy these zombie animations. So drag them into there, animations original. When it asks us copy or move, or do copy, and that way, in case things mess up. All right, and it got copied. Cool. Sweet. I'll just hit save all real quick. Zombie swan areas. What's a zombie swan? Is that like a swan, like the bird? Like Swan Lake, but it's a zombie. It pecks at you with its neck. They have very long necks. And I was once almost attacked and mugged by a bunch of ducks once last year while I was walking by the lakes in Summerlin. So if swans are pretty much like a 3x duck, it could probably be pretty nasty. So yeah, I agree. That'd be really scary. We should do that. All right, retarget anim, duplicate anim assets and retarget. Yeah. And it won't let me retarget. Why not? I think I have to retarget the skeleton. Yeah, animations can be confusing. All right, question. Because looking at the time, we only have two options here. I can go down this route and get the zombies to look like they're walking correctly in the next 10 minutes, or I can get the rounds and spawning possibly to work. So systems or animation. That's your choice. All right, put it in the chat right now. Just everybody vote via chat. I don't want to make the poll. Systems or animations? Just put systems or animation. One of those two words. Everybody now. Do it now. Put your vote. It seems like it's pretty divided right now. I'm seeing almost half animations, half systems. I think I'm seeing slightly more systems. Man, what to do? So we're gonna do systems because I think next I need a little bit more time to kind of walk through and look at all the different animations and retarget them and do all of that. So this is fine for now. Let's slow them down their speed. This will of course be a component or be based on 150 will be their speed. What round you're on and stuff. So now when I hit play, they should be walking towards you is the idea. Yeah. Again, it's not the walk of a zombie, but we'll solve that next time. We don't have time to do that right now. But what we will do is let's see what we're doing in terms of rounds and stuff. So when I kill the guys, it doesn't advance in round. So we need to get the round to work, and we also need to start working on what we call the game mode. So let's see if we even made a game mode last time. I don't know if we did. We might have. The game mode is kind of, you can think of this almost like the cloud, right? there's only one game mode per game, and game mode. Okay, so we made something called COD game mode, and it's a really good place to store all kinds of variables that should be true for everybody in the multiplayer game. So what we're gonna do is we have a variable on here called current round, which is great, but we have no way of advancing to the next round. So we're gonna make a custom event called advance to next round. Okay, and this will also be what causes the spawning to happen and everything. So obviously we're going to set current round to itself plus 1. That will cause it to be incremented. And then we also want our player's widget to reflect what that round is. So if we go over to our widget, here this is our round number. You can see it looks like we're doing something here, and oh, okay, perfect. That works. Okay, we bound that correctly. That's going to advance to the next round. What we need to do is we're going to have a list of all of the current enemies so we can know how many enemies are remaining. So let's do this. Let's do this. Remaining enemies is going to be the variable type. Is the variable name. The type is going to be BP zombie, or whatever. Oh, BP enemy. That's what ours is called. Okay, BP enemy, and it's going to be an array. An array is a list, right? So in a list, what we're going to do is we can ask, hey, what is the? Let's make a custom event again. Custom event called check. Check if remaining enemies exist. And we have this variable that we're going to put all of our remaining enemies in a second. We'll show you how to do that. And we're going to ask it for the length. If the length of the list is less than or equal to 0, you could do equal to 0, but it's safer, I think, to put less than. Then you're going to trigger advance to next round. Okay, so and now we just need to decide, well, when do we call this check, where we're checking if there's remaining enemies and stuff like that. Well, here's how we're going to do that. Enemies themselves, when they're spawned, so begin play is fine for that, are going to tell the game mode, get game mode, cast to game mode. They're going to tell the game mode what their tell them that they exist, and they're going to add them to that list. So we're going to ask the game mode now for its list that we just made called remaining enemies, right? And then what do we name it? Remaining enemies. Sometimes you have to compile for that stuff to come up. Oh, I'm casting the wrong game mode. Oops. Cast to COD game mode. And we're asking for its remaining enemies. Get remaining enemies. And we are going to, when you have an array, you can do something called add. And what I even like better is add unique. Just in case this code gets executed more than once, it's not going to add this zombie to the list more than once because you chose an add unique. So we'll do self. Of course, we're putting this begin play, so no, this is never going to get added. It's never going to get triggered more than just that one frame that it does. But still, I like doing that. Add unique. All right. So in the beginning of the game, we put this guy in the remaining enemies list when he spawned. And guess what? When our death event happens, we're going to remove him from that same list. So let's just copy and paste. And copy paste, damn it, enemy death, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Enemy's dead. We're going to now remove item from the list that lives on game mode. And the item removing is, you guessed it, self. And now remove him from the list. Now what's cool too is we can actually go to our HUD, and if we wanted, we could put a remaining enemies thing. So let's actually do that. I'm going to put it in a, I just copy and pasted that. Let's change the font slightly. I don't know, blue or something for now. Is that okay? Make it a lot smaller, 35. And let's wrap that with a horizontal box and just duplicate the text. And we're just going to put the word remaining. Little space there. Okay. So now this number here we want to have show the number of enemies remaining. Where should this go? Bottom left here? We could always move it later, but we'll do that. I'm also going to move the round number up a little bit. Well, no, that kind of implies that there's that many rounds remaining, so I don't like doing that. Let's put it just bottom center right here. Again, you guys will come up with a much better place to put it, I'm sure. All right, so now we got to make it so that this shows the number of enemies remaining. So that equation isn't too hard because here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our game mode. Can I just copy and paste that whole get game mode cast from somewhere? Yeah, I could do this. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. So we're going to get the game mode, and we're going to ask it for its variable called remaining enemies, which again is an array. But if we ask it for the length of the array, it should give us the number of enemies remaining. Perhaps. All right, so now that we've done all that, let's see if that works. Oh, there's one more thing I didn't do. I just remembered. So when we die as an enemy death, we also need to not just remove us from the enemy remaining, but tell the game mode to run that check if remaining enemies exist. I guess we should really rename this to check if there are no remaining enemies. Because again, if this ends up being true, that's when we advance the next round. And then we're not going to do it now, but that's where we would trigger all the spawns to happen. And you'd probably trigger all the spawns to happen on a delay, right? Because you want to give them that time to collect ammo, that kind of stuff. So okay, so now what we need to do is on our enemy death event right here, we want to call the game mode and also ask it to check if there are no remaining enemies. So every time an enemy dies, we're going to run that check. Okay. And guys who leave at 10:05, it's kind of aggravating when I see people it hits 10:05 and they just leave right away. I'll take participation points away from that unless I see you clock back in, and then I know there's just a tech issue. But just so you know, our class technically goes from now till 10:45, and then you have lunch, and then you 10:35. Yeah, we have 30 minutes because we're in asynchronous time. So if I want to keep you longer, I can, but I choose not to. So just so you know, for those of you who are clocking out at 10:05, it's not okay. So all right, check if there are no remaining enemies. Why I put this here on this death event is because the death event is just going to happen whenever the guy dies. A lot of people, amateurs, right, which is fine, will put this on event tick, and that's just not a good place to put something like this, right? You don't need to check if there's any remaining enemies unless an enemy dies. So now it's a very good performant thing to do. By the way, you know what I did do that wasn't performant? All this casting. If you're going to make a real game, you're going to not want to be casting ever in these widget bindings. It's very bad. In fact, the best thing to do to avoid that is to get this and on construct of that widget, do the get game mode, and then promote it to a variable, and then just ask for that variable in the bindings. Way more performant. Let's hit play and see if this actually works. So here we go. People are coming through, and it says 5 remaining at the bottom. So okay, now it says 4 remaining, so that's good. 3 remaining. Is there 3 remaining? Looks like 2. Oh yeah, there's 3. 2 remaining. 1 remaining. And then look at the round on the left. Is it going to go up from 1 to 2? 3, 2, 1. Bam, it went up to 2. Okay, cool. We got rounds in here now. The spawning stuff can happen next time. There's a bunch of different ways we could do that. And then obviously animation stuff would be really good to do. But yeah, live stream.